What's going on, everybody? It's AG here. Today, we're me reviewing a movie called The Machinist, a 2004 film starring Christian Bale. Movie is described as a factory worker, Trevor Reznik, suffers from insomnia so severe that his condition has taken its toll on his weight and his mental health. When Trevor unintentionally causes an on-the-job accident that horribly injures a coworker, he begins to become even more troubled. Despite a relationship with Stevie, a pretty prostitute, Trevor descends further into paranoia, blaming his problems on an enigmatic figure named Ivan. So that's a little bit of the backstory on the Machinist. Even if you haven't seen this movie, this is going to be spoiler free, so I'm not going to spoil anything. But you are going to recognize some pictures from this movie. So if you haven't seen the Machinist, this is the movie where Christian Bale basically got skinny as all get out. This was a year before he filmed Batman Begins. So this is the one that he got insanely skinny, like deathly ill skinny. And that's even referenced a bunch in this movie. Like a ton of times people tell him if you got any smaller, you'd probably die. And another reason that you may have heard of this movie, I've looked it up before and it's been on my radar for years now. But I just got around to watching it for the first time this past week. It's a movie that's often referred to, like if I look up movies that are like Seven or like Shutter Island or like Silence of the Lambs, all top 10 movies of all time, in my opinion. If you look up that on like a Reddit thread, you'll run into The Machinist. Okay, you'll find that people reference, oh yeah, this is a movie that you should watch if you're into those kind of movies. And I don't disagree. It definitely does run down that path as far as questioning some things, trying to figure out, not necessarily, he's not a detective, but trying to figure out what is going on, uh, who is doing this, what's going on with me, what mental issues is going on with this dude, because he's definitely got some mental and physical issues we'll look at here in a minute. But definitely a movie worth watching for sure. That is definitely kind of in that same atmosphere as those three movies. Now, this movie is directed by Brad Anderson. You may have not heard of his name, but you may recognize some of his movies. He's directed Stoneheart Asylum, pretty good movie actually that I hadn't heard of until I came across it on Peacock last year. And then Session Nine, pretty disturbing horror movie where basically these guys are cleaning out this old insane asylum, and in the bottom, like in the basement, they find these tapes. It's tapes where basically they were filming sessions when they were interviewing and talking to these patients, and pretty disturbing. Some pretty good stuff here. Pretty good, scary movie. But this movie, Trevor is the name of Christian Bale in this movie. He clearly, like I said, has some mental issues going on, has some physical issues going on, and you don't quite know why. Even he doesn't quite know why. But it comes across that sometimes, like one lady is talking to him, and he's talking about how he can't sleep. She's like, "Oh, we all get insomnia sometimes," but he's like, "No, I don't think you understand. I've not slept in like a year here, and I've got some issues going on." And that's kind of the beauty of this movie. It's dark as far as not only the movie, but kind of what's going on. But what I like about this movie is you don't know what's going on either. And sometimes movies, the character won't know what's going on, but you don't know, what I mean, character does not know what's going on. You know what's going on from an outsider's perspective. In this movie, you don't. Stuff starts happening and you don't really realize or even know for sure what is happening. But this movie gets you from the jump. First scene of the movie, first 5 minutes, I'm hooked. Okay. Because it lets you in right off the bat and it leaves you on kind of a questionable note. What was that? What did I just see? What is going to happen after this? And it gets you from the jump just like that from the get go. First 5 minutes, you're going to be hooked on this movie. Uh, this is the girl he's talking to most of the time in this movie. This is the prostitute he is with. Uh, and she actually lets him open up to her. He's kind of the only person that she'll open up to and who he'll open up to in her, because he really doesn't tell everybody else what he sees or what's going on, but he'll tell her like, yeah, I got some stuff going on. I can't sleep. There's some stuff going on at home, at work, and I don't really know what the heck to do. Now the movie kind of takes a turn when he runs into Ivan, pictured here. Whenever he sees this guy, it pretty much heads downhill. Not the movie itself, but the dominoes start falling and heading downhill for Trevor's direction. Trevor slowly kind of starts delving into even more chaos and more mental issues whenever he runs into Ivan. Because whenever he runs into Ivan, he has an issue at work the same day where this dude he works with basically gets kind of his arm jacked up. I'm not going to go into too much spoilers, but whenever that happens, basically, like I said, everything starts spiraling out of control for Christian Bale's character. And whenever that happens, he gets home after that and he starts seeing these notes at home once he gets home there on the fridge. Okay. So there's letters, post-it notes that he's trying to figure out who left these notes. So at the beginning, I kind of thought it might be Memento, if you've ever seen that movie from Christian Bale. The guy writes himself post-it notes and leaves them. That was kind of my thought at first, but it's not it's not like that at all. As far as he's not writing them down for himself and asking himself, "Who are you?" He's trying to figure out who the heck is breaking into his house and leaving these notes. And he's also trying to figure out what does this hangman code fill out. All right, there's obviously 6 spaces here. What word does this spell out? And he's trying to guess it. So the guy he injures at work, his name is Miller. His last name is Miller. So okay, maybe it's Miller. Maybe it's something else, and he tries to figure out what is the word on this and what the heck is going on. But after that, Ivan just keeps on popping up in Trevor's life. And every time he sees Ivan, there's something fishy going on. He's trying to figure out, number one, why did this guy just pop up out of the blue? And why, ever since he showed up, is chaos just completely happening around me? And what do I do about that? But this movie, I'm not going to go into too many spoilers after that because once he sees Ivan, that's when it really picks up. Um, but really worth the watch, I would say. I'll definitely go back and rewatch it again, and I would probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10. It's definitely on that level. Definitely worth the watch. I don't think it's currently streaming on anything. Unfortunately, I had to get it on Prime because it was not streaming on anything. But this is a movie, like I said at the beginning, similar to Silence of the Lambs, similar to Seven, similar to Shutter Island, in that he's trying to discover what's going on, but he's not quite a detective. So it's not like that. But there is such a mystery in here that it is going to be, I would say, a satisfying conclusion. And it's going to probably have you from the jump. But those are my thoughts on The Machinist. Definitely recommend this movie. I would give it, like I said, 8.5 out of 10, 9 out of 10, somewhere in that range. Really awesome movie here. Really good work from Christian Bale, as always. But have you seen The Machinist? If you have, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Make sure to like this video and subscribe.